Hi everybody, it's Colin here from Woodthorp International. A very interesting week, not a lot to show you I'm afraid. I've managed to weather rust the rails and weather the sleepers from where I'd done the ballasting to round to where it was done up to here. So as in doing the weathering and rusting the rails, I have to start just from there on the out two lines and through the station to about here and here on this rail and then on those three. So it's nearly there. Very pleased with that. So what's happened? Do not be put off going on to more technical iTrain or any other kind of automation because of what has happened to me. What's happened to me is nothing to do with any of the products, the software, the hardware. It's, as you know, over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about this shielded wire and it picking signals up and stuff like that. That's something what I have learned because it's happened. It won't happen to you if you do it because you've seen it happen and you'll just go straight to shielded Ethernet cables. If I knew that in the first place, I would have done and I wouldn't be having to do what I'm doing. But what did happen this week, America had a short circuit. I changed that point there and it shorted. I thought, oh, okay, I'll change it back. It's still shorted and I could not find it. So as you can see, all the American boards are down. Now, iTrain and the loaded system usually tells you on the screen by a circle which block has the fault on. But it wasn't doing. And I thought, why is this happening? And something else happened all virtually at the same time. When I had the first fault and found out it was a shielded wire in Japan, I said America's not got a fault with the old Cat 5. Well, all of a sudden it did have a fault, and it had a fault on that block there and that point, which is this bit of track, and that point over there. So, was it related? And why is it now flashing when it's never had an issue at all? But I found out what it was, why the flashing light was working. Hadn't found out what the short circuit was. You'll have to just excuse the mess because I've been having to do stuff to try and get over some issues. And what it was this power supply here going to the lights. And for some reason, it was going past Japan down here. And that must have been causing, one of the reasons it was flashing in Japan. But because I put shielded on, it stopped it. So it then looked for other places. And it decided it was that. And if I unplugged it at the power supply here, then the light stopped flashing. So I knew it was that. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to put shielded now in America around this area where the wires and power, there's a lot more power supply over in this area. I'd already started doing some of the new Cat 6 wire in here. So I thought, right, I'll have to do the power ones. And after last week's video, a guy said to me, why don't you use wire through plugs? It's a lot easier to see if you've got it set up right than the ones I showed you in last week's video. And I thought, well, I know this, but I couldn't find any. Anyway, eventually I found some. Now, the idea of using the push through is you can see the wires before you crimp, and it verifies that you've got it wired right. And I've had loads of problems crimping these things up. Hence all the little extra ends I've cut off. This is just here like this. So I've got a bit more length here. So I can then put it into the trunking. Now, I had done some and some had worked and some haven't. But these ends I'm using, as you know, are shielded ends, and they do Cat 6, 6A and 7. Now, when you go to 7, I understand the wire's a little bit thicker, and I don't know how much thicker it is than what this Cat 6 wire is. And I wondered if that was a problem. But then I wondered if it was this crimping machine. When you press it, it crimps the wires into the connections. And it worked on all of these because these were Cat 5. So I've ordered a new one of these, and it's a shielded version to see if that helps, because I cannot be going through these and cutting them off, because once they're in, that's it. There's a little bit of cost, but it's a time issue for me. It doesn't take me long, but when I have to do it 3 or 4 times, that adds up. And I cannot spend 24/7 just doing these. I need to do it, move on. Either do another or do ballasting or whatever. So I've ordered a new one of them. I will let you know if that, but please do not be put off that it is too technical. The technical bit is the know-how, and I didn't know. I was told to use Cat 5 in the first place. It's now changed that you should use shielded because people have learnt from it, and that's all there is to it. I ain't blaming anybody. You know, this is I'm a joiner, builder by trade. This is all new to me, but it's interesting. I love it. Absolutely love it. Having to work problems out. What annoys me is when I do things like that and it works, and then I do one with little tails on which make no difference because sometimes it's wired up wrong without even dealing with the grounding wire. That does drive me insane because it's frustrating, but I have to stick to it. Anyway, I'm afraid there's no trains running I'm just trying to keep you informed. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you still hit the like and leave a comment and subscribe to anybody who's new. Sorry there's not a lot happening in the train moving world. But I will speak to you next week. Bye for now. Bye.